Welcome to another installment of the What's Good Show, What's God's Ultimate Design for All Mankind. And I'm joined by Tondi Seasway.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, likewise.
Thank you. And so, my sister, why don't you tell the people more about yourself?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome.
Like he said my name correctly. Thank you for that. My name is Tondi Seasway Jackson-Nisson, and I am your Miss Plus America. Born and raised in Minnesota, in North Minneapolis. I consider myself to be not a jack of all trades, but I have many passions. Somewhat of a Renaissance young woman. My mother is a Renaissance woman, so one of my biggest goals is to grow up and be just like her. She's a fabulous person, fabulous being. So I wear many different hats, and one of those happens to be pageantry. So I just won the title about 2 months ago. And,
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's just a part of, it's a lifestyle for me. So not just on stage, but what you're doing when you're not on stage as well.
Right on. Well, I know that you being in the pageant, you had to have your, I forget, what is it called?
Platform.
Your platform, which was a righteous cause. How about you elaborate on that?
Yes, so I am very proud of my platform. It came to me one day, and it is I Am Not My Hair, Empowerment Through Self-Confidence and Knowledge of Self. So this pageant, Miss Plus America, is a pageant that I competed in two years in a row.
Okay.
The first year, I didn't win. I wasn't devastated, but I was sad. We went down to Georgia, and we worked hard, and the goal was to walk away with the crown. But I did walk away. You know, it wasn't this crown, but it was just that crown that we inherently wear on our heads, that natural crown. Right. I wore a wig the first year. I decided, I had my hair cut short like this the first year, but I decided to wear a weave for different reasons. And when I found out that I didn't make the top 5, I snatched the wig off. It wasn't on stage, so it wasn't that dramatic. But when I came back on stage for the parade of contestants, you know, non-top 5 finalists, I didn't have the extra added weave, and people, the audience, just went crazy. You know, I don't think they had seen I was wearing the wig all week. So when I came back the second year, I said, okay, I'm gonna come back this year, and I'm gonna come back as me, my authentic self, and that's when I came up with the platform, I Am Not My Hair. Right on.
That's a righteous cause, and I love that. Yep. So I know once you got that idea, you was like, yeah, I'm definitely going with that. Yep.
I sure did.
Yep. I know, because it's like when you come up with ideas, it's like you realize that it wasn't you. Because when I came up with my show ideas, I received both ideas simultaneously, and so I did my church show first, and it's been going for 2.5 years. I just now am doing my talk show because I finally received the green light as of last month, and I had the pleasure of having Charles as my first in-studio guest. And so, yeah, I'm off and running, if you will, And I just substituted my church show in the regular slot time for the What's Good show. So you can see it Mondays at 6 p.m. on Channel 20 on Northwest Community Television. And so don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, which is Good Fruit Camp Productions. And so you have social media stuff. You need to let them know. How can they get in touch with you?
So in this age of social media, I do have, I'm not on Snapchat yet. I haven't, I'm not on Snapchat or Vine. I haven't gotten those two. But my Facebook page for Miss Plus America, you can just search Miss, which is MISS, Plus America. and my name is Tondi Seasway, so the page is associated with my name as well. And then I don't have an Instagram, but I do have an Instagram for my personal life, which often includes many of my passions, not only Miss Plus America, but my poetry and my artistic ventures, and then the educational piece, the mentoring that I do with young girls. On Instagram, it would be Tondi, THANDI_hope of the PPL. And that's the Instagram. And Facebook, again, is just Miss Plus America, and you'll see my face on the Facebook page. That's how you know you're in the right spot.
Exactly. So y'all be sure and check her out on all her social media sites, and you can reach out to her, and I'm guessing you do like appearances and stuff all the time, because it goes with wearing a crown.
It sure does. It
So,
sure does.
Are you planning on being a part of our MAD, Men Against Domestic Violence?
You know,
October 15th.
I didn't know about it until then. What can you tell me a little bit more about?
Yeah, we're doing it on October 15th.
Okay.
And it's gonna be at Charles's church.
Okay.
So,
you know what? I had heard a little bit about it.
I figured that you had to hear something about it.
I didn't get an official invite, but Charles is.
You just did.
Thank you.
From me. So.
Yes.
Yep.
I try to, like I said, I live in North Minneapolis, so I think a part of the job, if you will, is not only the idea of appearances, but actually participating.
Definitely.
It's one thing to consider yourself a leader, but are you serving as well? I like to consider myself a servant leader, because if there's a leader that's not giving back to the community, then it's
all for nothing.
It's all for nothing. Yep. Exactly. Yep. So that definitely sounds like something that would be right up my alley.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. I guess kind of you got your invite.
Okay.
I'm just shocked that Well,
and where is that taking place?
So busy at the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I would definitely try to make it.
And to God be the glory international.
Okay.
Yeah. So. October 15th.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, what is the time? But we'll get all that to you. All the information will be sent to you, or whatever given to you. Yeah.
And I think it's important too, as far as outreach. When I find out about something, I like to spread the word.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's one thing that I really, really appreciate with social media is you can find out about an event the day of, something that you didn't know about. So I also commit to, I'm not sure, I hope that I can come. But whether I can come or not, I'm committing right now.
Okay.
In front of everybody. To spreading the word, right? To telling people that I know personally, and also sharing the event on my Facebook page.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. That was the first status that I shared today. Actually, it's the only status, because I had to get up here.
Yeah.
I went over Charles's house early.
Okay.
And so
okay.
I left there and came here.
That makes sense.
And I had to do this. So.
That makes sense. I knew if it was him asking about something that it was legit.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I am just really blessed to have linked up with him. And like I told him, it's been a long time coming, and we got a lot of lost time to make up for. So
for sure.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
It's good to see two black men linking up.
Yeah. And my mom is actually who told me about him, but I had already found his like page on Facebook.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I mentioned it to my little sister, Marion, who was like, "You don't know Pastor Charles?" I'm like, "No."
Right.
And my mom was telling me about him though, so yeah, I finally got to meet him, and I dedicated my first show of the What's Good show on location to me attending the first Brothers Empowered meeting.
Okay.
I filmed it, and so I uploaded that to my YouTube, and it's out there. It's the first episode of the What's Good show on location.
It's important, just what he's doing. As I was looking at your shirt, Brothers Empowered, I was in my mind just making a link to my platform as well. Just the empowerment through, and I think that that's something that is missing. So can be missing in our communities, in my community, and in our society.
I definitely agree with that, and I am very honored to be a part of such a dedicated movement and like much needed, and because I look at it like we're taking back the streets of North Minneapolis, and so I'm proud of that because of all the negative publicity that it gets. They barely get any positive publicity, and Charles is one of the main reasons that there is positive in the North Side. But you are too.
Thank you.
Now that I met you, you know, and it's a lot of others that go unrecognized. And I made a vow. I'm like, I'm gonna be that person that provides that light for y'all, the spotlight that y'all deserve. And so it's been a long time coming, and you're very welcome. And like I said, it's my honor to do it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, sister.
I think it's important, even just when we talk about the pageant platform, I feel like everybody has one, whether they compete in a pageant or not.
Right.
Everyone has that platform.
Definitely.
You know, whether you're an athlete, a football player, right?
Right.
Or whether you're a basketball player or you're a gymnast and you participated in the Olympics, you always hear on television or in the media someone standing up for something they believe in, right? Like I said, whether you're a football player or a pageant queen, there's always something that you're passionate about. So I appreciate you and people like you that do give us this opportunity to share our passions, because you know life can be hectic sometimes, right? We get busy. There's only 24 hours in the day, right? And if you work a full-time job, that's 8 hours right there, and then you're supposed to be asleep for 8 hours. So, you know, within our busy lives, I think a lot of times the things, the issues that we want to see change, the things that we want to glorify, we don't always have enough time to do so. So the things that you were saying that you've been doing, and people like Mr. Kane with Brothers Empowered and myself, I think are very important, especially for our babies to hear and to learn about.
Most definitely. And we're also providing that positive example for the kids to look up to. So they have a vision of what a successful black woman or black male is supposed to look like.
For sure.
One of the Jay-Z's lyrics, he said something about I let him know what it is, what you look like when you move in a Rover or something. But I don't know if you follow rap, but yeah, Jay-Z, that stuck with me. I'm like, I understand you. You know, like wow, that was a deep. See it. Yeah, exactly. Give them a visual. That's exactly what I took away from that. I'm like, that's just too perfect because, yeah, I mean, I have relatives, nephews, nieces, and so on and so forth, like we all do. And I mentioned it when I was interviewing Charles. I said, not only do I pride myself on being a accurate example for them, but for the entire world as a whole, we're supposed to be the best us for God's glory. And so we're setting that proper example as we fulfill our divine purpose. So, yeah.
Purpose is important.
Yes, very much so. It's motivation to succeed, and yeah, most definitely. And so I applaud you for all the good works that you're doing, my sister.
Yeah.
So we touched on your platform. What are some of your other interests and things that you have going on?
Well, I was just thinking about my mom. If she was up here with us, she would start going off the list.
Right.
She's it's just so interesting. She's one of my biggest advocates, both my parents.
That's
I have three parents, fortunate to have three parents, my mom, my father, and my dad. My father came into my life when I was 18 months. Him and my mom have been together for over 20 years, so, you know, real love.
Yes.
but they're my biggest advocates and my biggest supporters. And she just loves talking about me and all of the things that I'm in. So that's the first. Right. She just popped up in my mind when you said, "What else am I into?" Mm-hmm. Like I said, I have a lot of passions. Yeah. Youth are one of my passions. Yeah. So that's one thing that I love about my platform in this title. Mm-hmm. Figuring out a way to combine those platforms, right? So the idea is I am not my hair, right? Empowerment through self-confidence and knowledge of self. And I mean, that message can go to anybody, right? Yes. A young man in North Minneapolis, or an older woman that lives in Mumbai, India, right? Anybody can relate to that message. Exactly. But specifically, what you were just talking about, giving an example to our babies, right? There's something to be said for learning what you can learn when you're young, right? Yep. Like, you train our youth, right? When they're younger, so that it's not as hard when they're older, so that they can become those people early in life. Yep. So youth are education and youth, or sometimes we call them scholars at Freedom School. Anybody that knows about Freedom School is one of my biggest passions. I just think it's so important for our future to mold the minds of our babies. Definitely.
Well, we did the backpack giveaway.
Yes.
And that was a huge success. But I'm looking forward to next year. So. And so I'll be looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes, I think we were out of town because we like to support Mr. Kane, Brothers in Power, and what you guys are doing. And I mean, when you talk about North Minneapolis, backpack giveaway, you know, someone might think, okay, that's something simple, but when we talk about fulfilling that purpose, like you were saying earlier, the right tools and the right resources are crucial, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can go to school, and if you don't have a notebook, then you know you're lacking.
Right.
So I think things like that, what you guys did, are very essential when we talk about our babies.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And so that's why I said I can't wait till next year, because it's gonna be better.
And you guys have like performances and things like that, right? Okay. Facebook tells it all. So I wasn't there, but I saw, I think I saw Joe or Chadwick, I think Niles was there performing. Okay, I love Niles.
Chadwick was just here earlier.
Today?
Yep.
Oh wow, okay. Yes, he's an amazing artist.
Yes, he is.
I actually performed in one of his shows 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah?
The Avant-Garde.
Yep.
The things that he does with the Avant-Garde. He had a show called Super Live.
Yeah, he was just telling me about it. Yep.
And I was one of the poets.
Right on. Yeah, he probably did mention you, but if he mentioned,
may have.
Yeah,
he's
I
always
hope so.
Doing something.
Yeah,
I
hope so. He had a lot that he was. Yeah. He had a lot of knowledge still, and good works coming from him. So yeah, I'm sure I'll have to review the tapes and see. Yeah, I'll highlight that.
Another example.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, I'm just like blown away. Well, y'all are doing so much good stuff, and I wish I would have started doing this project sooner though. But you know, everything is in God's timing. So He gave me the green light last month, so that's why. Yep, exactly. So and like I said, I had received the ideas for both my shows simultaneously, but I focused on my church show for 2.5 years, and then just last month, I brought the talk show to fruition. So it's the What's Good show. Yeah, it's here, and we have this
Tandi
wonderful woman, Tandi. Yeah. Well, trying to think of what other passions would you like to share with the world?
Let's see. You know, sometimes it's hard talking about yourself.
It is, but you're gonna have to get over that.
You want to share your gifts with the world, but you also want to remain gracious and humble at the same time. And that's something that I'm really big on. Something I try to teach the youth that I work with. You can be David, right? Goliath, you know, Goliath, Paul Bunyan. We go to MOA sometimes, the log shoot, right? You can be big in skill set and mindset, or just physically big, but along with that, it's important to be humble. Right, so that's one of my key pieces. Along with that, humility, especially when we talk about pageantry, is very important, because it's typically only one winner that walks away with the crown.
Exactly.
Or, you know, one person that wins the battle, if we're talking biblically. But if you don't have that humility to, you know, go and shake the first runner-up's hand and tell her that she did a good job too, or you don't have that humility to know that just because you were chosen to win this time doesn't mean that there wasn't a room full of ladies that were equally as qualified, or that graciousness to lose and say, hey, this wasn't my time, then you truly, that's not a representation of whatever you're a part of, whether it's a crown or the Super Bowl, whatever it is.
Exactly.
So that's, I know that's just a quick little side note. If someone was to ask me what one of my main values is, I would say top 5 is humility.
Okay.
So as far as other passions, I would say arts, the arts. And I think that just falls in this huge realm when we talk about arts. So I consider myself to be a fashionista.
Okay.
I know you can't see my full outfit right now, but
you did that?
Yeah. Okay. He said you did that. Yes. Yes, girl. So a fashionista is something that I consider myself. Fashion, wardrobe. I like to style other people, including my mother. She has this fabulous closet that I find myself diving into every now and then. And when I say that, probably a few times a week. Going to a nice event or a red carpet, I'm going to visit the Queen's Closet. And then I'm also a poet. Poet and spoken word artist, which is important to me because that's another vehicle for me, right? That's another platform for me to talk about what I think is important in this society, in this world. I've written poems and spoken word pieces about racism. I've written poems and spoken word pieces about customer service, all the way from, you know, like a piece of cheese, right? How creative can you be when you write a poem about a piece of cheese? To a huge issue like the Confederate flag that was hanging when that queen, right, climbed and snatched it down. So I think that it's a vehicle that you can use. I feel like you don't ever turn it off, but sometimes you might put it in park and do something more relaxed, more low key. And sometimes you might be driving down the highway going full speed like you're in a NASCAR race. So there's a lot of flexibility within it, and it's something that I truly love.
I love that analogy. Like you could be
either or,
barreling down the E-way like you're in NASCAR or something. Exactly. Or you could be in park observing. But I feel like that it's never off though. Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just in park and running. Left running.
Always running.
Exactly. Yep. I love that analogy. That's really. I can't believe that I haven't witnessed it in your spoken word. So I don't know. Would you be interested in doing some for us today?
I can't. You know, when we were down in Dallas, the national pageant for Miss Plus America was in Dallas. When we were there was a talent competition. And I decided to do it, which I'm glad I did, because at first I didn't know. I had a few apprehensions because spoken word and theater, unfortunately, is not valued as much in our society as singing or dancing. So in my mind, I said, will they appreciate it? And I said, you know what, Tanya, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And I subsequently walked away with the talent. They had a non-vocal talent winner, and I walked away with that trophy. So that was something that I was very proud of. It was an original piece that I wrote. So I can do that for you all right now.
Okay, well, as well you should be honored that you won that. I'm glad that they honored you with that award.
Yes.
Well, it was a trophy?
Yes,
sweet.
so there was tons of optional competitions, and there was different prizes that you got. And for the talent, I received a trophy. It was a gold trophy, which is one of my favorite metallic colors. So so that was good.
Yeah, that is awesome. So yes, please do.
Okay. Yes. So this piece is like I said, an original piece, and it is inspired by two of my favorite poets, which is Dr. Maya Angelou, rest her soul, and also an unknown poet, but some people say that it resembles the work of Langston Hughes. So, in my mind, is that something that Langston wrote before he blew up, and he never put his signature on it? But there's different theories about who has written this piece. But I just kind of roll with the Langston Hughes piece because he was also a phenomenal artist. So I took those two pieces and came up with this piece. And it's called A Letter to My Baby. Mama, do you always live your creed? I thought to myself, that's my baby, my princess, my seed. And our garden we hoe, plow, and pull the weeds because we want nothing but the finest organic ingredients to our mouths we feed. They say it's nervy to be curvy, but my baby says, Mama, I love your style. I love the way you walk. Can I hang with you for a while? She says, Mother, you are a phenomenal woman. And pretty women wonder just where your secret lies. You're not cute or built to suit a fashion model size, but when you start to tell them, they think you're telling lies. She says, it's in the reach of my arm, the span of my hip, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lips. Because see, I am a woman, phenomenal woman. My baby says, Mama, that's you. My little girl says she'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. And she'd rather one should walk with her than just to show the way. The eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. See, advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And for the very best of teachers are the ones who live their creeds. For to see good put into action is what everybody needs. Now, I can soon learn to do it if you'll let me see it done. See, I can watch your hand in motion, but see, your tongue too fast may run. And the lectures you deliver may be very fine and true. But see, I'd rather give my lesson by observing what people like you do. And for I may misunderstand you, in the fine advice that you give, there's no misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. There is no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. She turned to me and said, Mother, thank you for always living your creed. I said, you're welcome, baby. And you are a beautiful, beautiful daughter indeed. 'Cause if you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, that was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yep. So, how often do you perform your spoken word and stuff? Or
it varies.
On the back burner to the crown?
You know, I've actually created and had the opportunity to kind of merge those things. That piece that I did for my talent competition, I've performed 3 times. I would say at least 3 times since I've been back in Minnesota with the crown. So sometimes for an appearance or even just like this show, I might go to speak to a group of women. Like I was at North Point Health and Wellness on Friday for the African American Women's Forum, and I did a piece. So I might go to speak to a group of women, or you know, whatever the audience may be, and sometimes they'll ask me to do a poem as well, and that poem I kind of figured it be fitting because I recited it during the national competition is the poem that I usually perform.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's very fitting, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And I actually do write poetry and
Okay.
stuff. So, and I'm an artist. And so me and Charles are working on some stuff right now.
Okay.
But,
And when you say artist, do you mean visual art?
no, I'm talking about write music too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm like a jack of all trades, and I wear
Nice.
many hats and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm just trying to glorify God in everything I do. So yeah, I'm very cautious on what I just put out there. So yeah, I'm kind of like a perfectionist too. But yeah, so yeah, I share with y'all. I call it throwing together this set, but yeah, I planned it out in my head before. Yeah.
Well, it's looking nice.
I'm very visual.
Okay.
So yeah, I came up with the idea and I made it happen. So yeah, that's how I operate.
I like that too. I think it's our creative juices, you know, sometimes people call them.
Yep.
Like where we can create something in our mind and then execute it.
Exactly.
It's like, wow.
Exactly. Well, I got to show your parents the intro to my show, and I would love for you to see it too.
Yeah,
because that's a perfect example of my visual ideas coming to life. So yeah, for this show, we use Final Cut 10. I don't know if you know about editing and stuff.
Oh, that is
okay over your head. Yeah.
Yes.
So we use Final Cut 10, and it is just like so much better than the it was Final Cut 7.
Upgrade.
It's like a very much needed upgrade, and it's like I didn't like to edit before, and now I love it. So yeah, that gives you an idea of how much better it is.
I'm sure my father would know a lot about that.
Yeah, he does.
He's our tech
guy
/ computer genius that always helps to get that resume printed out at the last minute when we need it or something like that.
Right on. So he has saved the day on many occasions,
Oh,
I'm
always,
sure.
always, yes.
Yep.
Yes. Great man.
Oh, yeah. Well, God bless him.
Yeah, and that's just a part of what I was talking about earlier, just that support team.
Oh, yeah.
It's
vital.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, because I know many people that they do their work and they do it alone. So I wouldn't say that it's needed, but when you have it there, especially when you hadn't had it for a while, or maybe that support team was on vacation for a weekend and they come back, you're like, yes, that's when you really truly appreciate the value of someone. Even the simple things. When you're out for an appearance, just navigating, helping to whether that's helping to ride with you to get there, or helping you get some tea before your speech, or whatever that is. And I think, and a part of that graciousness is knowing that, okay, this is my support team for Miss Plus America, and knowing that the roles reverse, right? So it's not just all about me, right? It's just my support team, but knowing that we rotate, right? Right now, my parents are here because I'm here with you, and then when it's their time, like they actually got engaged. When I was talking about real love, we had an engagement party last August, and it was beautiful. And that was a time where the roles changed, where we were able, all of my mother's many daughters, my father's family, where we were under my tutelage. I was, cracking the whip a little bit.
Okay, but you was in charge.
Yes, I was proud to be in charge, just because they've given so much to me. I mean, it wasn't like a Hitler crack, but it was just that this is going to be a nice night, and let's get this right.
Everything's gonna go off without a hitch. I know exactly what you mean.
Yes, and it was a beautiful evening, but it felt good to give back to people that have given me so much in my life. And that's that servant leadership, right?
Yep, exactly.
You're served and you serve as well.
Yep.
It's important.
It definitely is, and it's like it's also vital. Like I said, beyond that, it's like the teamwork aspect is mandatory because we all need that positive support system. Mm-hmm. Without it, we won't flourish. And so, yeah, I think that's like a main ingredient that is key. I agree with you totally, sister. We could continue to elaborate on that. I'm trying to think of more topics. Did you get all the passions out? All your passions? Or?
I feel like it.
Okay.
I also have a small baking business.
Okay, see, yeah, you should let them know.
You know, it's I guess that's a part of the art piece.
Yep.
Baking. Cooking is art, right?
Yes, it is.
I mean, just in my creative mind,
It
you're
definitely
in the kitchen
is.
and you're throwing things together.
Creating
sometimes
meals. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's
from the top of
art.
your mind. You might not have a specific dish that you know you want to come up with. You just have a tomato, avocado, and a few things, and then you create this masterpiece at the end.
Exactly.
So for me, it's another form of art, but it's also another job for me.
Yeah.
It's another way that I help to support myself and my future family. So I cook specialty soul food desserts.
Okay.
So the special items that everyone seems to really love is the peach cobbler and the banana pudding cake. So people are always like, banana pudding cake.
Intrigued.
Yeah,
like
they're like, well, what is
now.
that? So it's something that my godson helped me create.
Okay.
But it's delicious. It's just like banana pudding, but it has cake as a part of the dish as well. And I'm actually just not transitioning, but adding on dessert in a jar.
Okay.
Just, a mason jar seals up so you won't spill anything. And then also with certain desserts, they can be shipped. Okay. So I have family on the East Coast, I have family on the West Coast, and people are, they call me or they text me and say, do I have to wait to Minnesota to try some of this fabulous dessert? And I am getting to the point where I will be able to ship these desserts. I don't know about all over the world, but for now, we'll say in the United States.
Yeah, that's a start. And I believe they're called cake cups.
Some people call them cake cups, which I think is cute. Cake cups.
Yep.
I've heard dessert in a jar. I'm not sure what term I'm going to use yet, but even just stepping outside the box, maybe creating a blend of both. Something like that.
Well, as soon as you find out, be sure and let us know.
Okay, he said, bring some to the studio, please.
Yeah, I'm always available for sampling.
Okay, yeah.
Most definitely. And so I can't wait to have you back for more updates and stuff.
Yes, for sure.
Man, it was really been a great to meet you. It's really been an honor to make your acquaintance, my queen. So.
Thank you, likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise. It's always interesting how we're connected to people.
Yeah.
And, thank you to Mr. Kane as well, Brother Charles.
Yeah, shout out to Minister Charles Kane at To God Be the Glory International. Yeah, my brother. Yeah.
Fabulous guy.
He is. He's phenomenal. Yep, most definitely. I told him one of my hashtags is To God Be the Glory and the Story, and that's the name of his church, though. To God Be the Glory. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up.
Right. You never know.
Yep. You sure don't.
And we're all connected too, so.
Right. So, did y'all grow up together, or did y'all just?
Charles and I? No.
Okay. Y'all just met
not that we know of. You know how sometimes you meet someone and then you find out that
it's possible y'all went to
y'all
school
were right around the block.
Right, exactly.
Not that we know of.
Okay.
We actually met. I believe we met through a mutual friend of ours, Julia Sewell, who is another fabulous young person, entrepreneur, has her own youth curriculum called Swag. Fabulous fashionista, poet extraordinaire, who I call my sister, who I've been knowing since I was in about 2nd grade. My mother is one of her second mothers, but also Urban Homeworks. We're both on the advisory council for Urban Homeworks, which is another fabulous nonprofit. executive director is Chad Switters, who's an amazing guy. Talk about humble, very humble, but it's a Northside organization that provides housing, good housing, good quality, affordable housing to the people that live in the community, which is something that everybody needs, right? So
Most
it's
definitely.
a basic human right.
Yeah.
So I always really
right.
appreciate Urban Homeworks, and it was between Urban Homeworks and Julia that me and Mr. McCain had the opportunity to introduce ourselves.
Mr.
And I'm so happy.
Yep. If I didn't know him, I would have never met you.
That's true.
So,
that's true. Unless we would have ran into each other, you know, I could have been selling my desserts.
Right.
And you could have been walking down the street or something like that.
Definitely. I would have had to stop and check out your cake cups.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're going to call them. Yeah. Yep, most definitely. Well, soul food desserts, that is like such a great idea. I'm just like, wow. The possibilities are endless for you.
That's
to
one
go
thing I say
with
about
that,
food.
so.
Everybody has to eat.
Yeah.
Right? When you're thinking about business ideas,
That's right.
It's like, you know, you might not sell airline trips or vacations to Puerto Rico, but Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
But unless, you know, you're going home.
Right.
But everyone has to eat. So
Yes,
everyone must, you know, have something to put in their stomach. So that's one of the things about the dessert business. And it seems like people really enjoy sweets.
Yeah.
Which was weird for me because growing up, I never was a big sweet person. I'm starting to like it more, including chocolate, which I never liked growing up.
Yeah.
But everyone, especially during the holidays, it's always some holiday coming up, Valentine's, 4th of July, where I have the opportunity to sell my desserts.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think Thanksgiving will be big for your soul food dessert idea. Because, you know, Thanksgiving definitely goes
Support
along
local,
with it.
right?
But really all the holidays, because soul food goes with all of them, to me anyway. I enjoy soul food. Yep, so I can't get enough of it.
Something about that Southern style cooking.
Yep. Even though I'm Puerto Rican, but I was raised American, so I'm all about soul food.
And you know about that coming from New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, I'm a little jealous of the food options that you guys have in New York. It's unfair.
You can have it all in your house though. So
that's true.
It's like the opportunities are unlimited. Yes. It's all on you. Yes. So yeah. No need to be jealous. Just go ahead and get it.
Make it happen, right?
Yep, exactly. Make it happen at home. In the casa. So it's entirely up to you.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I'm thinking, do you do anything with strawberry shortcake?
You know, strawberry is one of my godsons who actually helped me come up with the banana pudding cake idea. Because I mean, it's out there, but he loved the banana pudding, and he was like, we can do a banana pudding cake, and I was like, Milo, honey, I was like, I don't think there's a such thing. He was like, yeah. So we Googled it, and I was like, okay.
It's out there.
The youngins, right? I said, okay, and I experimented for a few weeks, but that first batch, I was like, little Milo was on to something.
Right.
But one of his other favorite fruits, and he likes it mixed in with his desserts, is strawberries. Milo. Adorable young man. But so last year for his birthday, I made him a strawberry cake, and it was so good. I said, okay, this is something I'm gonna have to add to the menu. So sometimes, you know, a little whipped cream with like a basic cake. Sometimes I'll put the strawberries inside. So I'm gonna be experimenting with the jars as well too, how you can kind of layer things up in jars and make them taste really nice and good.
Okay.
Nice and sweet.
Well, you keep me posted on the progress.
I will.
I love strawberries, so yeah, that's what made me think of it. I'm like, do you ever try strawberry shortcake? Yeah, definitely keep me posted and put me down for numero uno sampler.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sample. Okay. I thought you were going to say put me down for a pan. I was going to say, is that a jar or is that a full pan? You
sampler. We got to find out
what is
to perfecting it, you know, on the way to perfecting it before we jump ahead to that.
Well, I think you'll like it. Okay. Whatever dessert you have, I think you'll like it.
Okay.
They're pretty good, if I do say so.
All right. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. It's straight from the horse's mouth, if you will, is what they say. I can't wait to taste them. I'll let you know. Okay, so what else? Well, how long have you been doing spoken word? If you can put a time on it, like.
The spoken word piece is newer in my life.
Okay.
But just actually, it's been a transformation, you know, it makes me think of like a butterfly or something, which is one of my favorite animals. But it started with storytelling, then poetry and acting, reciting other people's poems, reciting my own poetry, and then just a little more assertive, aggressive touch with the spoken word.
Okay.
So it's been somewhat of it's been gradually building, and I'm still involved in all of those. Not storytelling as much, but when requested, or if someone invites me to their school, sometimes I'll whip out a story from back in the day.
Okay. Yep, and they can be like, well, one time in band camp or whatever, like. So, oh, what was I gonna say? I done lost train of thought. Forgot what I was gonna ask you.
Was it about the poetry?
Let me see. Oh, you just talked about how long you've been doing spoken word. It's new. What I was going to say was you are evolving. And so I know all about that. I hate when I lose train of thought. I'm like, oh, you're evolving. And out of all your passions, which one would you say you most enjoy out of all of them?
That's tough.
I'm glad I thought
That's
of it.
tough. It's almost like asking, for me, it's almost like asking someone, you know, what child they like the best out of all their kids.
There's no favoritism.
It's like, do I want to say it out loud? Do I really not have one? You know, I would have to say the education piece of it. And the reason why I say the education piece is because that's something where I can bring all my other passions, right? I'm mentoring these youth, whether it's Freedom School, which is a program, an excellent African-American based, or Afrocentric based program, literacy program that I participate in as an Ella Baker trainer. So whether it's Freedom School or me doing my own mentorship program, I can teach the scholars how to bake, right? I can teach the scholars about nutritious and healthy meals that could also be delicious at the same time. I can teach the scholars about dance and poetry and spoken word. I can teach the scholars about pageantry if that's what they want to do. You know, I never want to be pushy. And even if they don't want to be in the pageant, I can teach them those wins that you get, whether you win the pageant or you don't win the pageant. Those things that we were talking about that you walk away with, interviewing skills, things of that nature. So that's why I would have to say the education piece, because I can always combine that into what I'm giving with the youth that I'm working with.
Okay, well, I love that answer. So, since you love education so much, do you see yourself becoming a teacher soon? I'm kind of getting that vibe, like you want to go down that road.
I think I consider myself to be a teacher right now, not with the traditional certification that you get or the graduate's degree, etc. But just life is about teaching and learning moments. So that's why I like the word educator too. So I do, to answer your question, I do see myself in the future, in the long run, growing in that area as far as how many youth I'm working with, what I'm doing, etc. But I think I've been a teacher since I was probably in elementary school. I mean, I remember just always having that person that was younger than me, and then always having someone like my sister Julia that was older than me, and just that, you know, even though it wasn't many years apart, just kind of that generational when it comes to grades. You know, I'm in 5th grade and you're only in 3rd grade, but just that mentorship and that taking someone else under your wing. I've always been a lover. So just when it comes to helping someone to grow by also growing from someone else that's above you, being under their tutelage. I can remember that happening at Harvest Preparatory School when I was still in elementary school.
Okay. So, we are going to be running out of time soon. So is there any thing that you feel that you need to mention before we say goodbye to the good folks?
It's so hard. I think we covered all the passions.
Well, like any future events that you have coming up, now would be a good time to mention that.
To mention those.
Yes, definitely.
Slight plug. All right.
Yes, plug, if you please.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and plug yourself.
Well, there's something that's in the works right now, but it's not confirmed.
Okay.
So, like you said, I gave the people, the listening audience, my Facebook page. That's
how they stay updated.
Yes, that's one thing. Any event that I'm participating in, whether it's the Avant-Garde with Chad or helping out with Fit for Fun at North Point, I typically put it on my Facebook page so that people can know about it. I can't think of anything right now, and I'll know when I walk out of here, I'll probably think of something.
It never fails.
So I'm not sure. I'm seeing if there's anybody else in the studio that might have an event that. Yeah, so I said it's not confirmed, but I am working on, which is more a part of the artistry that I do, a production called The Ballad or the Bullet, which is inspired by one of Malcolm X's, in my opinion, one of his best speeches. But the place is not confirmed. But we're gonna have it that weekend right before elections. So that is Saturday. Hopefully we'll have 2 shows, Saturday and Sunday, and it's gonna be made up of improv, dance, song, spoken word, poetry, and the artists that we have confirmed thus far are phenomenal artists in their own right. One of them is a young person, India Booker. She's only 16. So when I look at her, I get excited to see what I'm gonna see in 5 years, because she's already off the charts when it comes to the things that she's really passionate about. So like I said, my Facebook page, you can kind of stay tuned to some of those things, but it's gonna be an excellent show, and I think that everybody will leave with some more meat on their brains, some more things to think about when it comes to our society and ways to make it better.
Well, that sounds like something that I definitely would like to be in attendance for.
It's going to be really nice. It is.
So I will make sure to stay updated from your Facebook page.
Yes, yes.
Yep, I most certainly will, and I'm gonna run it by Charles. He probably already planning on going.
Well, I'm not sure if he knows about it quite yet. It's at the beginning. It's
in the beginning stages still.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of improv on the stage. So, but he was on my list of people to invite for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I'm included with him. So, yeah, I'm gonna see if we can get there and support y'all when y'all finalize everything. So,
for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be really nice. So
it is.
I think it might even be worth bringing a camera.
Yes, that's one of the things that we're gonna be doing for sure. Is videotaping that.
Yep, nice.
Documentation, because it's history. It's a part
of history. Exactly. Most definitely. So that's what I'm big on. Like, if I go somewhere, I usually like to have a camera with, because you know, it's usually some historic stuff going.
Looking back at it.
Yep.
She doesn't know that we see that.
Right. That's why
Okay.
So what do you want to mention that?
I think that's it. I was just gonna say there was something that was right at the top of my head before we started talking about Malcolm X. See, guys, see, we both lost our train of thought.
Mortgage foreclosure?
It wasn't that piece.
Oh, okay.
Because I was looking at the crown.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say when you were saying, is there something that we didn't talk about? Just being so honored to have this title. It's really important to me. I've competed in other pageants in my lifetime, and you know, the idea of Miss Plus America, we didn't really talk about that. You know, it's I wouldn't even call it an alternative pageant. It's a pageant just like Miss America, just like Miss USA, giving women of all ages, which is another piece I like. There's no age limit.
Yeah.
An opportunity to communicate their platform, to share their passions,
Yeah.
to shine, just like you would if you were in a traditional pageant system. But unlike traditional pageant systems, Miss Plus America, I like the sense of diversity as far as curves, size, and the women. I mean, like we said, we have Puerto Rico for the first time. People are coming from all over the country. And just the idea that whatever size you are beautiful.
Yeah.
Miss Plus America, you have to be a size 14, or you have to have 42-inch hips or wider. So for us as women that fit that category, typically we would maybe be discriminated against in a typical pageant. So I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and give the younger generation and our babies coming up an opportunity to see that no matter what size you are a queen.
That's
you know,
right.
No matter what size you are, you can walk home with the crown, with the title, and that's something that I'm very proud of.
That's where you should be. And keep walking with your head held high, sister.
Yes.
And God bless you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you for honoring me, blessing my set with you and your parents.
Yes.
And I wish you continued success. And you know, Brothers in Power is supporters of you, so.
Yes, and I appreciate
it. No problem, you got it. And so I am looking forward to your returns to give us more updates of all the good works that you are doing.
I'll plan on it.
Well, I definitely will. And I will keep you apprised of when I have openings and stuff.
Okay.
Because this studio time just fell into my lap.
Okay.
As of Thursday night. And so,
nice.
Yep. And so God is good all the time.
Yep. Last minute opportunity.
Yep, exactly. And I took advantage of it because I know it would be utilized accurately. So, yeah. It was it was never a worry about it. I'm just like freaking out, and then I'm like, I just need to brainstorm with Charles.
Yes.
And that was the solution.
Through, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yep. And I told him my last day in Kentucky, I dropped my phone in water. So,
and it wasn't one of the new Galaxies, huh?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. It was actually a iPhone 3, believe it or not. To God be the glory in the story. For real. So, well, that's it. Thanks for joining us. This has been another episode of the good, I was about to say the wrong show. The What's Good talk show, What's God's Ultimate Design for All Mankind. And thank you and have a blessed evening or blessed day or whatever it is.